Hello crafties, welcome to another channel chat. This is number 29. Wow. My name is Infiniti and today I'm just gonna, kind of chit chat. I have some knitting that I'm working on. It's another pattern that I thought of in the middle of the night and I'm like, you know what, I gotta get up and knit that because who needs a sleeping schedule? If you don't know, I am the voice, the face, the person behind the camera, all the tutorials here on the channel. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay. I know this quarantine is kind of tough on some people, with the isolation and everything. It's been trying. And I hope that, you guys are able to craft like you want to and that you're able to get through your projects and that they're turning out awesome. I'd love to see some of those projects. Maybe over on the Facebook page, I don't know. Somewhere, I'd like to see them. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna knit and I'm gonna chill. So, I know that personally I've been tagged in a lot of posts. I've had my emails like blowing up and I was like, oh yeah, check in. And I have not checked in with anybody. But people know I'm alive and that's what matters most. I'm fine. So, people are like, oh, how are you doing? Are coping with the quarantine. As you all know, and as I may have said many times here on the channel, I'm a recluse. I am such a recluse. I don't think it's shyness anymore. I think it's just my will to be alone that guides me through. Now, of course, in all honesty, I know it's like nothing but the Lord that keeps me sane, but I really do enjoy being to myself and being in my house and having alone time and things like that. And when this thing first hit and they extended our spring break from school, I was like, okay, 2 weeks, cool, awesome, word. Because like, I don't know, they didn't have me scheduled to work over spring break like they normally do, and I was kind of bummed about it because I'm a workaholic and I like to work. But as the days went on, I think about maybe the third day and I'm like, holy crap, I can crochet. I can knit, I can do all these things, I can record videos, I can get ahead, I can do these things. And so well, I've been speeding on ahead and doing those things that I so desperately have been wanting to do. I have a video that I'm going to upload relatively soon that mentions a video concept. This is actually a video concept that I planned back in 2018, and now I've come around full circle and I've had time to record that and do that content, and yeah, it's gonna get edited and put on my channel, and I really like that. I am so excited. I love people, love my friends, things like that, but I was starting to feel like maybe, I don't know, if I was doing too much. I don't know if you guys, anybody that subscribed to me watched anime, but My Hero Academia, I felt like everything I was doing was like plus ultra, and so I was exhausted and I was feeling it. I was just feeling so grumpy. I was feeling so grumpy and moody and stuff, and I was starting to distance myself from everybody. Like, I felt it, and I know I tend to do that. So yeah, in essence, quarantine 2020 has been really relaxing. Am I a little, like, was I a little annoyed at first by the fact that, literally one of my jobs got nixed? Yeah, I was at first. And then I'm like, you know what? Gonna make the most of it. And you know what? Came around, and then, like, I'm like, one aspect of my job is actually doable virtually, so I'm able to do that, and I'm really grateful for that. So I'm gonna continue to do that, but it in no way infringes upon my free time, which is freaking awesome. I'm just excited about it. I found out right before I started recording this video that my CPR class got canceled because it required 2 days where we had to go onto the campus and do our compressions and stuff for certification, and obviously at this point we can't do that, so that's been canceled. Will I go back and get that certification? Yeah, probably, because that's really one of the main reasons that I to my institution this semester, and did that before to try to do that before transferring, because like a lot of jobs that where you work with children or the elderly, they require you to be CPR and or first aid certified. And I'm like, well, let me at least get the CPR out the way. I can do first aid later when I have more time, or before I take on another job or something. But God, I'm chill. I'm so chill. My sleeping schedule is garbage now, guys. I don't know. For the last 4 years or so, I would get up at like 4:50, 4:45, no later than 5 o'clock. And about the 5th day of spring break, I turned off all those alarms, all of them. And from that point, I was like, I'm not knitting. From that point, I was like, sleep? I don't know anything about sleep. I'm not sleeping. And so now my sleep schedule, I like kind of go to bed around 2 o'clock in the morning, which now I'll fix it eventually. It'll be okay. I'll fix it before my first semester, my new school starts. So that's gonna be exciting. I am so excited about that. Oh my gosh, it looks like everything is falling into place with that. I am grateful. I feel blessed. I look forward to the new adventure. I think I'm going to do my first semester mostly online. Yeah, that sounds great. Just so I can work on a few things. And then spring I'll be ready to merge into the campus. But I really want to see how these classes kind of flow. They're really small for a university. It's cool. I'm happy. With that, that was one of the important things for me with transferring from a community college to a university. I didn't want it to be so large, I guess, where it was overwhelming. But I did need a change of environment, and I'm happy to pursue that. My voice is gonna crack. So in essence, my first point, how am I? I'm fine. I'm great. I'm doing wonderful. Like I said, I hope some of my friends and other crafties out there that are used to getting out and about and doing things, I hope you're coping well and that you're able to kind of sink into your crafts and do more of the things that you love, because it can be a struggle um, when you're used to doing certain things in life and then you're like suddenly unable to do so. But stay home, order online, be healthy, be clean. It'll pass. It'll pass. 2021, we're gonna look back on 2020 like, what was that? And we're gonna be fine. No big deal. And no, I'm not downplaying the situation before anyone attacks me in my comments. Oh my gosh, people are mean in comment sections. They are so mean. I'm not downplaying the situation at all. It is serious. Take it seriously. Like I said, stay home, wash your hands, be clean, social distance, important. But don't stress. And I know that sounds contradictory, but don't stress. It'll be okay. What have I been up to? I've been up to quite a bit. As I said, I have had time. Mounds and mounds of time. I have a project over here. I have a project in my hand that I have designed. I think, did I post a new? I did. That was another design that I posted in my Etsy shop, which some of you may have seen. That link is down in my description. I have been designing my butt off. Yeah. So I've been designing my butt off. It has been fun, actually. I like to design. I really do. And I always said that I would publish more stuff if I had the time. And now I have that time to sit down and do those things, and it's definitely working in my favor. I've been working on inventory. I'm like, you know what? At some point I really gotta kickstart this whole business thing. Like, stuff keeps falling through, and that's life and whatever, but I really want to get my business up and going and start being successful or more successful. My definition of successful, I want to be that. And so, I'm using this downtime to not only do what I love, but combine that with my ambitions, and hopefully, it'll launch without a hitch. I pray about it. But I feel really good about what I'm doing right now. As far as that goes, like I said, I'm building up my inventory, and a light bulb went off on me last night at 2 o'clock. Well, actually 2:02. So I guess this morning, 2:02 this morning, I'm like, oh, you know what? You can stock up on these things and do these things, and yeah. So I'm gonna keep that a secret, but I'm gonna work on them, and I'm excited to be able to start acting on it. And I don't know, I still have good vibes for 2020. Like, I don't know, people have been saying, oh no, 2020, we started off with such hope and now it's gone down in flames. And I'm like, why? It's not going down in flames. It's not the end of the world, even though it seems like it, sometimes to some people. Everything's going to pan out and be okay. And, personally, I do my best. Everybody's human, right? And we all do these human things that are within our bodies. But for the most part, I try to react according to my faith. And I'm like, I'm good. You know, things happen. People were frantic about war in January. And then February, I think it was, people were in an uproar over what? Over something. And then now, well, it's April now, but March was the good old Rona. So, I mean, there's always going to be something, and, 2019 was trash. 2019, everybody had their things, and I think every year, everyone has their things, and, it's just life. Like, everybody's always going to have something that's not going to go their way. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world or that there's no hope. It's just that, something that you're going through. You're going through it. You're not going to stay there. You're going through it, like a wall. You just got to crash through like the Kool-Aid Man, Old 2000s/1990s commercials, Kool-Aid Man comes busting through the walls. I'm probably showing my age, but that's okay. I mean, no, you can't just sit around and mope and be depressed and stuff. You got to keep moving because, life goes on and time goes on and things get better. Some things get worse, but some things get better. So you have to kind of weigh the good versus the bad. I'm not knitting. So yeah, that's kind of my standpoint thing. It's not necessarily que sera sera. I do keep a watchful eye for things. You're supposed to watch as well as pray, then I do that. But I'm not worried. I'm not afraid. I know not everybody believes the same, but, no plague should come nigh my dwelling, and yeah, 10,000 fall to my left or my right. I don't necessarily have to suffer from that. So, things like that, those are the things that are really important to focus on in this time, I think. Your beliefs, where your consciousness is, and centering yourself in those things and reaffirming things with yourself to keep yourself at ease, at peace. Everything's going to work itself out. I get so tired of, I don't watch the news. I mean, I keep up with current events, but I don't watch the news to a point where it affects my mood. I learned this some years ago. I'm like, okay, the world is always going to report the doom and the gloom, and they rarely ever tell you the good things. And so it's like, why feed that into my spiritual realm? Why feed that into myself and make myself depressed? Because if you keep looking at the news, you're going to be sad, or like, oh man, this world sucks. Oh, humanity sucks. Everything sucks. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I wish more people thought that way. Honestly, oh gosh, Debbie Downers. Debbie Downers, that is what we're gonna call them. But yeah, I don't feed into all the negativity that the world has to offer. I mean, I don't turn a blind eye to it, but it doesn't have to affect my everyday state of being, I guess, What else did I have on my list of things? I suppose this is, oh my gosh, I've been off script for a hot minute. And this whole channel chat is going to be quite a long one. But you guys have time. I have time. We all have time. So we're just gonna, sit here, chill out, talk. I don't know. Feel free to talk to me down in the comments about points I've made. I don't know. Talk to me. Sometimes I get bored, I think, and I don't mind talking. So that's cool. I am still working on material for the channel for tutorials. Like I said, I don't know if I said it in a channel chat or a blog post at this point. My blog is also linked down in my description below. It's Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, and that's where I post all my blogs, all my free tutorials, little updates and things like that. And people tend to get those like updates sooner via the blog or Reddit, because I kind of post them there quicker than I do to the channel. Channel chats, I mean, they require setup, and sometimes I feel like a diva and I want to make up my face and get dressed and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, it's easier to just type it out for me sometimes. But yeah, so become a follower of the blog, check it out. Yeah, I also, sometimes before I do knit alongs or crochet alongs, oh, a bird. Before I do knit alongs or crochet alongs, I will post the supply lists or things like that in my blog as well, so that's also something to look out for. Okay, I need to go get tea because my voice been cracking and I don't appreciate that. Hasn't cracked all day, but the moment I decide to record and talk, it starts cracking. It's just a peach too. Nothing extra added to it. Not yet. It's too early in the day. So yeah, what was I saying? The blog. I also sometimes post little miniature updates. What do I call them? Miniature? Mini updates. Whips. I post my artwork sometimes. I really should update my blog with more of my artwork because that would be smart. But I'll do that later. But yeah, I'm really kind of pushing my blog nowadays more so than I was. I mean, like right now, my tip top priorities are my channel and my Etsy shop are like one. So those two are like at the top of my list. I'm steadily pushing out content. I'm copywriting and publishing my patterns, getting them out there into the wild, letting them fend for themselves, so to speak. But I try to talk about my shops more. I know there was a point where I was just like, oh, people will find it. I was more passive about it, and I don't know, it's not getting me really anywhere. So I kind of want to push that more. I'm super excited about where the channel is going. I think last night I was at 644 subscribers. I'm like, wow, where did you guys come from? I just hit 500 in, was that January? Was that January? Yeah, that was January because I held the giveaway in February. So that, yeah. Where did y'all come from? And so I've been pushing out more video content, or trying to, or it's coming. At the date of this video, it's not out yet, but it's coming, and I look forward to releasing more. Like I said, I wanted 2020 to be more project based. I've been neglecting doing projects on my channel for a minute, just because they are more time consuming, and I obviously didn't have the time to do them. Now that I have the time, oh yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it and I'm excited. The project over here, I don't know when I'm going to release that. I don't know when I'm going to release that, but it'll definitely be after I write up the pattern for it. It's a really simple pattern, but I guarantee you guys are going to love it, and I'm really happy that I'm excited to release it. So that's going to be super cool. So gorgeous. Anyway, I look forward to releasing that. I am typing up the pattern right now, and then I'll go about putting it all in InDesign and Lord, doing all that extra. But it's not so bad. It's just about me sitting down and focusing on it and doing that. And speaking of focusing, I'm supposed to be knitting. I'm looking down. I'm looking down like I'm knitting, but I'm not knitting, and I need to be knitting. So I can finish this so I can work on my other projects. You guys know I'm still not done with that shawl, and I almost feel bad for not being done with that shawl that I was working on. Probably gonna pop a picture of it up. Oh my gosh, my friend's gonna have another birthday coming around before I get done with it. At least that's how it feels. So I might, after I finish editing the videos that I've recorded today, I am probably going to sit in my bed, turn on Crunchyroll, and get to crocheting. And not get distracted by other things like new designs. And thankfully I'm writing down these designs as I test them out, so I don't have to go back and try to read my project to get a pattern out of it. Oh my gosh, because I've done that a couple times and it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked. What else have I been up to? I haven't really been up to anything. I don't know. Have I? I mentioned the designing, the patterns, and things like that. And I'm trying to knit. I'm trying to come up with patterns for both crafts. Now, as you guys know, obviously I knit and I crochet. And I know lately I think my patterns have been geared more towards knitters than crocheters, and yeah, I'm going to fix that with the one project, two projects. So yeah, okay, so I'm good. And yeah, I just kind of want to make it well-rounded, so to speak. I know I have other project tutorials on my channel. They're a little dated, I think, in my opinion, from when I first started. So some of them I want to redo and then make the old ones private and unlisted and never seen again, because they are so old, and that's gonna be fun. I have over 180 videos on my channel, and that's counting the ones that are scheduled to release. I should actually look at my analytics and see, but yeah, I have a lot of content, and that's been a trip to like actually sit down and think about, because I'm like, okay, wow, I started this channel on October 1st of 2018, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this thing as a hobby, kind of, sorta, so to speak, because I'm bored, and now I do it. I don't know. I just do it. I do it like it's a job and it's fun, and I enjoy what I do, and I'm glad that I get to show and share my love for craft with everybody that I have encountered. And I don't know. It's a beautiful feeling. I feel very blessed by it. So yeah, I don't know what kinds of things I want to do later in the year. I don't really do much. I don't really do much. I work, I go to school, I go home. I want to do more content where I'm kind of outdoors. Obviously later in the year, not right now. I don't know what's going to be in store for that, but I look forward to whatever I come up with. Lord help me in the summer. I don't like the heat, but I don't know, something. Something. Well, what else was I saying? What else? Ugh, words. Words are hard. What else was I saying? I don't know. I really, like I said, I really want to push my blog. I want to push my channel, and my Etsy store right now. And I know my Teespring, my merch shop, is something I also don't mention very often, in which I've been trying to kind of increase that here lately, because I'm like, you know what, I do all these cool designs, I think the world needs to see them. So that's always, all of my links are always down in my descriptions if anyone ever is curious about them. I was so excited last night because I was anonymously tipped on my blog, and that made my night. Like, it was 11 something, I remember, and I was probably watching history videos on YouTube, I think. And I just so happened to go over to my email tab, and I checked my emails, and I'm like, PayPal was like, yeah, you've been paid. I'm like, what? Really? That made my night. And I was really, 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 really grateful. I'm like, oh, that was so sweet. And so that was awesome. And then my mom, over on her craft page, which is Whitley's Gifts, she shouted me out, and I'm like, oh, I woke up to that, and I'm like, well, just, thank God. Look at God. I am really, really, really hyped now. So, I'm just kind of floating in a boat of happiness right now. I'm just chilling, living my best life, and that I look forward to just doing more. Hopefully this knitting pattern, I'll finish it and determine if I like it enough to publish it. I really kind of think I should publish it. I haven't decided whether it'll be free or paid, or if I'm just gonna post it in both places and live my best life, like I did with the Frostfighter face cowl. Now that one started off as a, did it start off as a paid pattern? I think it did. I think it started off as a paid pattern, and after a while I put it on my coffee blog, and coming soon, if you guys haven't noticed, I have set up premieres for all 3 parts of my knit along featuring that project, and oh my god, I'm excited for that too. But yeah, like I said in one of my past vlogs or blogs, I really wanted to cater to people. I know that this is, with this downtime, they have more time to like sit back and learn new crafts and things like that. So I was hoping to release some relatively easy patterns to work up, since we all have the time to do that now. you know, and that's yeah, that's what I wanted to do. What else? I have mentioned almost everything on this script. I have been yammering and yammering, and there's nobody to stop me, and there's nothing to stop me. Ah, goodness. Well, oh yeah, something else interesting that I haven't mentioned yet. So it has to do with my Etsy store. I ordered my shipping scale. Now that's really big to me, because now I can start mailing stuff out, and I look forward to that too. I would do it on occasion in the past, but now I don't have to go to the post office. I can still practice my distancing, and I can mail stuff out. So once I determine, once that gets here, first of all, then second of all, once I determine that I have stuff that I want to put up in my shop, it's on and cracking. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. So yeah, so that's my excitement. That is my excitement. Currently in my shop now, I do have a sale ongoing. Like I said, we all want stuff to do. So 11 of my 12 patterns that are in my shop are on sale right now. They're 15% off through the 21st of April. Yeah, the 21st of April. I don't know what I'll do later for April into May or whatever, but I know right now my sale, my 15% off sale, is going on through the 21st, and there's no coupon code needed for that one. And I do have a sale going on in my merch shop, 20% off your purchase, and there is a code for that, which I'll probably be popping up across this video because I can't think of it at this moment. Look, I've thought of everything else and talked about it and went on and on and on. Now I can't think about my promo codes. But again, I'll pop it up. I'll put it in the description or something. And yeah, so I'm probably going to just end this channel chat right now. There's nothing else I really want to talk about, I don't suppose. I don't know. Other than the fact that I can't find my blocking squares. Like, I have 4 of them. I know I have 8 altogether, but I can only find 4 of them, and that's bothering me. So I'm probably going to go look for them, and so I can block things later. So I hope you guys, again, stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean, and until next time, happy making.